Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Master Detective Archives Rain Code. In the last episode, we saw into the life of Ibuki Clockford and what was truly her luckiest day, using her powers to manipulate the odds to solve what normally would be an unsolvable case, using the roll of a dice to not only save the victim, but to bring the true culprit to justice, being quite the day for the master detective who can control time, even but just a little bit. But with that being said, it's now time for what will be our third story for Halara's chapter, which is known truly as Raining Cats and Dogs. And honestly, by the fact of the name, sounds like it's gonna have something to do with, well, cats and dogs. Although, I thought she was allergic to cats, so I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna work. But honestly, with that being said, I'm quite curious, just because, well, every single DLC chapter in the whole entire game has been nothing but good. So, honestly, I am very much looking forward to seeing what Halara's chapter entails. So with that being said, let's get into the sub-stories and prepare for Halara's chapter. And then obviously, I'll have to wait until, obviously, Vivia's comes out later, but for you guys, it will be the next episode. With that being said, here we go. The Nocturnal Detective Agency receives a request to investigate an unusual drowning. Was it a death by self, or was it murder? Will Master Detective Halara be able to solve this odd and wondrous case? Raining Cats and Dogs. And with that being said, in we go. I'm kind of curious on how this one's gonna go, because Fubuki's actually had a real mystery to solve. Desuhiko's was, there was no, a notepad with, things you needed to put together to solve the case. But, I would think every single one would be different, maybe. But I'm not sure.
Do you know where the milk I put in the fridge went? I was saving it for my coffee.
Beats me.
That's my seat, you know.
How much?
Huh?
How much do you want for it? I'll pay your asking price. Well?
You gotta be kidding. Fine. Just keep sitting there.
I will.
Yeah, she will.
Huh? Someone's coming. I wasn't expecting guests today.
There's a guest. Really? But yeah, she uses milk. For sure. Because she's got a coffee on the table. Or tea. You can use milk and tea. But hello there.
Right this way. It's a bit cramped in here.
Yeah, welcome to the detective agency. What's going on with you?
Are you the chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency? My name is Tetra. Pleased to meet you.
No, the guy next to you is, but, I bet you Halara's gonna pretend to be.
I'm the chief. That's just one of our detectives.
Yeah, she kinda stole the seat.
Oh, excuse me. Your detective was sitting at the biggest desk here, so I assumed that...
Well, to be fair, Halara does deserve a desk this big with how she solves cases, to be fair. But, you would be right to call her the leader, due to Yakou, although being the chief, Halara was the more capable detective of the two.
My seat gets stolen the moment I leave it open.
Yeah, it does. Poor dude. I'm sorry, Yakou.
Let's sit down.
Yeah, what are you here to talk about?
I was told you investigate murders.
Which is true. You're in the right space for it. So, definitely about the drowning, obviously, but how did the drowning happen, I guess, would be the good question.
A murder case. It's possible for us to handle it, but
Yeah, what's the job entail exactly?
what we can or can't do depends on whether or not the peacekeepers have already gone through it.
Yeah, have they touched it yet? Well, technically Halara doesn't have to worry about that.
I see. My father passed away in a rather bizarre manner. The peacekeepers declared it was an accidental death.
Your father died in a bizarre manner, you say?
But I just can't believe it was an accident.
Fair enough.
The peacekeepers usually try to declare any unnatural deaths as accidents.
Yeah, usually.
Why do you suspect that it wasn't one?
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say? I thought you said it the way I thought it. Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, what made you think that?
My father kept tropical fish as a hobby. One morning, he was found dead, drowned with his head stuck in the fish tank.
What the heck? Yeah, that's not the easiest thing to do to yourself.
Do you really think that could be an accident?
I highly doubt that. That sounds like someone just came up from behind him and just stuck his head in the fish tank. Huh.
He drowned with his head stuck in a fish tank? Can you describe the situation?
Yeah, we'll need a little bit more information. Maybe we can figure something out here.
The fish tank is set rather low, so you can view it from above.
Okay.
My father was in a kneeling position, with his head dunked into the water.
Really?
That sure is bizarre. What did the peacekeepers have to say?
Yeah, what did they say about that? That's really strange.
They say he was electrocuted, and passed out when he touched the temperature control switch with wet hands.
Was there any proof of that?
And he fell into the water and drowned, unfortunately.
Huh.
Are you sure the cause of death was drowning?
Wouldn't you know for sure that he was electrocuted if the outlet exploded or something? Because you would see the black marks coming off the outlet? What? That don't make any sense. How do the peacekeepers think that was accidental? Or them taking themselves out?
Yes, that appears to be the case without a doubt. A trustworthy doctor did the autopsy.
Really?
I see. From what you've said, you can't really deny that it could have been an accident.
No, the problem is the room where my father passed away. It was obvious that someone else had rummaged around.
Someone rummaged around in his room? Really?
What do you mean?
That's a good thing to question, actually. That is strange.
Well, the room has lots of tropical fish tanks lined up.
Unless he was looking around his own room and then tripped into his fish tank and got electrocuted. But that don't sound right.
But on the day my father died, all of them were shattered to pieces.
And he wouldn't do that to his own fish, I would think.
And of course there was water and dead fish all over the floor.
How long was he dead for, by the way? Because, I would think that he would be gone for a while before you would figure that out. 24 hours for the homunculus to reawaken. So, he must have been close to turning.
Someone must have forced their way into the room to do something so terrible.
I would say so, honestly.
I believe my father was murdered by whoever did that.
Possibly. Interesting, though.
This must be a murder. Please uncover the truth of my father's death.
We'll definitely look into it. Sounds intriguing.
What do you think, Halara?
Yeah, what do you think, Halara? You gonna charge her way too much money for this?
Beats me. I wasn't paying attention.
Probably not your best idea.
Don't lie. There's no way you couldn't hear us.
True.
You can assume I don't exist, unless pay is involved.
Fair enough, I guess, but you don't need to really think about payment every single time you get a job, to be completely fair, because not everybody can pay that much. At least make it a decent amount, but don't make it to the point where not a single person can hire you. Like, base it off their payment money, like how much they can spend, not based off of the richest of the rich. That's not really fair at all, honestly. It's kind of wrong, honestly, to do it that way. Even if we know why she's saving money in the first place. But to be fair, that is Halara after all. And that's how Halara's been the entire game. So, fair enough. But she really shouldn't expect that kind of money the entire time.
I can pay. My father left me an inheritance.
Really? I don't really want to take that, but that's definitely going to get Halara's eyes to light up.
Oh, don't mind my detective. Our rates are always reasonable here.
Yeah, right. Not with Halara.
Then you'll investigate this case on my behalf?
Yeah, can you, Yakou?
Huh?
Come on, man.
Yes, of course. As detectives sworn to protect this town, we can't leave any mysteries unsolved.
Yeah, we really can't. Not like this. Don't make Halara make this lady pay her inheritance.
Thank you. I'm so happy I worked up the courage to come here.
That's good to hear. I'm sorry that you had to work it up to get here. I'm sorry about that.
The Nocturnal Detective Agency is here to protect the peace of Kanai Ward. You can always count on us.
Always try her best, at least. Not Halara all the time, but she will if you pay her, to be fair. She'll try her absolute best, and she's her absolute best when she does get paid. So, yeah.
As for investigating this case, we'll check out the crime scene soon. Promise.
I'm kind of curious on this crime scene, honestly. But if Yakou is the one looking into it, how is Halara involved?
Jeez.
Yeah, geez indeed. You're gonna have a lot of work cut out for you, buddy, because getting Halara's help is not gonna be easy. That's for sure.
That was rather reckless of you to promise.
True. But what happened with Yuma, we know exactly what could have happened here with Yakou. But the thing is Yakou is less likely to take that kind of a bet, honestly. We know he doesn't like betting. And that's kind of a bet in a way to take Halara's help, honestly. Because the thing is well, you don't know if you're going to be able to pay her back, and that's the bet.
It's not like I have a choice. I can't just abandon people in need.
Unlike you, Halara, which you seem to like doing quite a lot.
I'm Yakou Furio, chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency. I gotta protect this town.
Which is true.
Do you even have a single lead to solve this case?
Nope, not at all.
What? Of course. I'm a detective after all.
Which is true, but the statement about you needing to protect everybody, you threw that out the window after Chapter 4. But technically you did, in a way, you stopped Wesker, but that wasn't even Wesker. That was someone completely different that was the homunculus of him. So it wasn't even him, in the end.
If I proceed with the investigation, I'm sure I can find some kind of clue.
Which... fair, yeah, we probably could find something.
But I'll need your help, Halara.
Yeah, like she's gonna help you, buddy.
That depends on the payment.
Uh-huh. Yakuo's broke.
You know I don't have a lot of money.
Can we give you whatever we have?
And you know that I don't work for cheap.
How about we give you this, oh yeah, the submarine blows up, doesn't it? You can have a submarine.
Then... how about a deal instead?
Deal?
What deal?
Yeah, what kind of deal?
If you solve this case, I'll let you keep a cat here.
She's allergic, though. They got her attention up, though.
Really?
Apparently.
Yes, really.
Huh.
Hey, where are you going?
Looks like you got her attention, buddy. Huh. It's that easy?
To the crime scene.
Okay, well here we go then.
Hold on. The client just left.
Yeah, they definitely did, but honestly, Halara works right away, so you should have known she would have got right up as soon as you got her attention.
I don't don't you wait until tomorrow?
I don't think that's gonna happen. Let's see.
Fine. I shall review the case's records until then.
Really? I'm very much surprised about that. Huh.
Halara's fee is cheaper than I thought.
Apparently so. I'm surprised you... Well, yeah, I guess he would find out about the cat. It's in her record, isn't it? I would think it would be. But yeah, I guess, yeah, her fee is a lot cheaper than what Yuma originally thought it was. But we never saw a cat in the submarine, though. So whatever happened with that? Or unless this is how she found out that she was allergic to him. That could be a possibility. Like, she liked cats but didn't own one. And this was a possibility of owning a cat. Found out that she was allergic and then wasn't able to take it. But that wouldn't make sense, too.
Thank you for coming. You really are willing to investigate the case.
Yeah, we are. Also, who's the other guy?
Well, that's our duty at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Which is true.
Your house is pretty big. Your father must have been well off.
Looks like we're over in that one district, trying to remember the name of it. We were barely there, though. It was the one for, the Nailman case. Same area. For where the mansion wasn't there. Ginya district or something like that. If I remember correctly. Because of the, you could tell because of the chandelier, and they also had fish tanks in that house as well. With the mansion. But interesting. Very, very interesting, in fact. Okay, we'll take a look around and see what we can find.
Yes. My father owned a medical devices company. He contributed to Kanai Ward's medical advancements for years.
Really? Did he help with the conducting of the blood tests? Probably not. But nice little thing to make you think of that, though.
I simply can't believe he met his end like this.
Is that how his legs were sitting? It looks like how he was sitting. Like, to be able to lie face first in the water.
We'll find justice for him.
We'll try, at least.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
How long has he been dead for?
This is my fiancé, Jaren. We've been living together for about a year now.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Jiren.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
I'd like to ask you more about the details later, but can we take a look at the scene for now?
Yeah, that would be for the best.
Oh, before that, do you have a photo of your father?
Oh yeah, we need to know what he looks like.
Of course. Here's a picture from when he was still alive.
Thank you. That will be important.
Thank you.
But it's good that we get a little bit more dialogue from Yakou, because Halara and Yakou chapter. Always good to see.
Halara, over here.
Okay. Interesting.
I'll leave the investigation to you. It's a bit too cramped for all of us to be wandering about.
No, please don't leave. I want more dialogue from Yakou. Please don't leave.
I'll keep speaking to them outside. Talk to me when you're done.
Okay. So it's just gonna be us in here? That's fine.
Understood.
Okay, we'll take a nice look around then.
Now, time to review the cards I've been dealt.
Yep, time to review indeed. Investigation. Okay, so it is going to be like,
You definitely want to remember this.
Yep, notebook. Cool. Okay. In clues, you can review the info acquired in the clues menu. Okay. So, this one's going to be much more of a full-on investigation like with Yuma. Okay, cool. Cool. And we should be able to use her ability, too. We just have to go in the right positions, obviously. Curious about where they died. Nope, can't look there yet. Okay. What about the wall stains? That is weird.
What is this? There's a stain here that looks like a horizontal line.
That's weird. Did the room get flooded? That's the only reason I could think that would happen.
Upon close inspection, There appears to be a faint outline of the same stain along all 4 walls.
That is big weird. And it's on the door, too. Huh. All 4 walls have stains resembling horizontal lines. That could be water damage. Although, not sure why there would be water damage. Also, why is there a vent on the top of the wall?
An ordinary vent.
What the? That doesn't look like a air conditioning vent. What is that? Okay, then.
There's some blue paint on the inner side of the frame.
Blue paint, you say? Huh.
Looks like something rubbed against it. This may have something to do with the case.
Possibly. Rub marks and what looks like blue paint are on the inside of the frame, the vents. Okay. We got the window here.
It's a regular sliding window with a crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks on it.
Seemingly. But there is the weird marking on the wall here on the glass as well.
There's a small veranda outside. We're on the 2nd floor, so any rain that falls off the eaves flows to the drain.
Huh. Okay, then. A normal window with a crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks. But there is a vent outside, though. The 2nd floor veranda, rain flows off the eaves into the drain. Huh. Where does the vent go exactly? Just the other side of it? Okay, then. We got something on the floor over here.
Right.
There's some stains on the floor. It's likely due to the water spilled from the fish tanks. Other than that, nothing else seems suspicious.
Seemingly. Stains caused by the water spilling from the tanks on the floor. Yeah. True. Fish keeping equipment.
I see.
The equipment and the food for the tropical fish are placed together. Seems like nothing has been used. Since the incident, there's some dust.
Seemingly, yeah. Equipment used for keeping tropical fish is placed together. Tropical fish equipment. And then is this the last one that we can see for right now? Nope, there's also one on the door. Let's look at the broken fish tank, though. Okay. Why was it shattered, though?
All the fish tanks have been shattered.
That is really weird. Like, why would they shatter, and why would the guy that is the grandpa shatter them if he loves his tropical fish?
There's broken glass scattered on the inside, which means it's certain someone smashed it inward.
Seemingly, yeah.
Why would someone do this?
It is really strange. All the tanks were smashed inward. Smashed fish tanks. Inward, too, so they weren't broken from the outside or inside out. They were broken outside in. Okay. What about the door? There's some weird markings on that door. All the way over it.
There is a sticky substance stuck to the door frame. Perhaps tape residue?
Tape residue? Why is there tape residue on the door? That's odd. There are traces of a sticky substance, like tape residue, on the door frame. That's odd.
I've investigated things of note, but...
We haven't looked, with your ability. You don't want to look in time and check it? Okay. And investigation, I guess.
That's about all I can investigate for now.
Not really, but if you say so.
I should go talk to our clients before I observe the crime scene at the time the body was discovered.
Oh, okay. I get it.
The crime scene has been inspected, Chief.
Yep, it has. You ready to come back in?
Thanks.
So, let's see what you think about this. I'm kind of curious. Also, nice painting with the one red fish swimming with all the blue fish up there. I like that.
There are a few things I'd like to confirm.
What would you like to confirm, Halara?
Yes, please ask me anything.
Okay. We got a couple questions. Not exactly sure how we can answer them all, though.
Can you give me the details of when you discovered the body?
Yeah, when did you?
It was, I think, around 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. Got it. So, when the time the body was found, it was 6 o'clock. Got it.
My father usually woke up early for breakfast, but when I went to get him, he wasn't in his room.
And his head was head first in his fish tank.
So I looked around and noticed Sugar barking at this room.
Who's Sugar?
Sugar?
Well, obviously a dog if it's barking. Interesting name for a dog, though. Sugar.
That's the name of our dog.
Well, obviously, you said barking. Hello, Sugar. Well, you're definitely, white light sugar. I get why you're named that. Probably Swedish sugar, too. That would also make sense.
Hey!
Yep, definitely Swedish sugar. I'm surprised Halara doesn't have a dog, if she isn't allergic to them.
Sugar sure is happy. She's rarely friendly with anyone.
Oh, well, that's surprising then. I was thinking Sugar was her name because she was sweet like sugar, but apparently not. Okay then. Or do you mean more like scared? Because friendly can either mean scared or mad, to be fair.
She barks at me all the time.
Really?
There.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, why would a dog that lives at the house bark at you all the time? That's strange.
Oh, sorry.
Dogs don't normally do that with people that they're always around. That's strange. That's really strange, and I should know. I own dogs. And only time I ever get barked at my dog is because of me holding a belt and it thinks it's a snake. I was trying to put on a belt one day, and my dogs were freaking out because of it. Didn't even know that's what they were scared of at first. Like, I didn't even mean to scare them either. Just, I guess, I didn't even know they were scared of snakes, honestly. That was a first for me, finding that out. But, yeah, they don't just bark for no reason, usually. Dogs do bark for no reason at, like, the door, but not specifically at somebody that they know, like, often.
Sugar was barking in front of the room, so I opened the door to take a look.
Okay, so Sugar felt like something was off then.
There I saw my father. His head was in the fish tank. He was already gone.
Really?
I heard her scream and ran over, but what I saw took my breath away.
Uh-huh.
The fish tanks were all destroyed. The floor was covered with water.
Weird. Okay then.
All the tropical fish Father loved were scattered across the floor, dead. Were they valuable?
Yeah, they are tropical. Were they valuable?
I'm not sure. I don't know how much they were worth, but the fact is my father cared for them a great deal.
Okay, emotional value is high.
If the fish were expensive, do you think someone tried to steal them?
Doubt it.
Are you implying my father's murder was an afterthought?
I don't think it was.
Well, I'm just considering possibilities.
It's worth definitely looking into multiple different avenues for sure, but I don't think it was an afterthought.
If they were going to steal the fish, I doubt they'd smash the tanks.
Yeah, that don't make any sense.
You're right.
Why smash the tanks?
Do you know the estimated time of death for the victim?
That's a good question.
I believe it was around 10 o'clock the night before.
Okay, what's the timing between them, actually? Just curious. Because she gives the time. I just want to double check that. Oh no, she doesn't. Oh no, she does. There it is, 6. Okay. So, 2 hours. Then we add the up to 6. It gives us 8 hours. So not enough time to turn, then. Okay. Well, it's good to know that it wasn't enough time to turn. Still, though, interesting, though.
When was the last time you saw him alive?
Yeah, when was that?
Right around 7 that night. I ate dinner with him. He went to his room after that.
And then he went to his, fish tank room after that, apparently. Okay. According to the Peacekeeper's investigation, the victim died around 10 p.m. Estimated time of death.
Does anyone else live here?
Yeah, other than you three.
It's just me and him now. The servant left after making dinner before 7.
Okay.
Tell me, what were you doing around 10 that night?
Yeah, what were you doing?
After finishing dinner with my father, I did some cleaning and washed the dishes.
Okay. For 3 hours?
Jaren came to the dining hall around 8 for dinner.
Okay. So, technically all 3 of you were there.
And then we watched TV in the living room until around midnight.
Yes. I know for certain we were together between 8 and midnight.
Okay, then.
Did you ever get up during that time? Such as to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, anybody go to the bathroom?
I don't think so.
Were there any screams or sounds of a struggle around 10 at night?
Yeah, you would definitely hear something, at least. If he was being attacked.
No, not at all.
Huh.
I see. That leaves me wondering who entered that room, when they did, and why they smashed all the fish tanks.
That is a very good question.
The fish tanks are large and have thick glass. You'd think you'd hear them being smashed.
You would really think that.
True. All I know for certain is that we didn't hear anything like that.
Huh. Strange. From at least 8 p.m. to around midnight, Jaren was with Tetra, alibi from the night before.
Do you often come in and out of this room?
Yeah, how often do you come into this room?
Not at all. Only my father used this room.
What did the Peacekeepers have to say when they saw the state of things in the room?
Good question.
They said my father was stressed out. That he lost control and smashed all the tanks himself.
Doubt that.
Was he actually stressed out?
Doesn't sound like it beforehand.
Truth be told, my father was lamenting over a prized tropical fish he had accidentally killed that morning.
I don't think that would make him take himself out and take all his fish with him. Heavy doubt on that.
I thought he could have done something extreme, given how much he regretted his mistake.
Huh.
He did look rather depressed.
Still, my mild-mannered father would never do something like this.
Yeah, it don't sound right. From everything we've seen, it's definitely not him taking himself out. In this game, it's never been that way. Not a single time. So, heavy doubt. Heavy doubt.
Did you notice anything strange about your father during dinner?
Yeah, anything weird?
He was sad about the fish, but he ate normally. I didn't notice anything in particular.
Fair. Okay.
It's hard to think he was so distraught that he'd smash all the tanks on his own.
Yeah, that is really hard to believe.
You're right. But that's what the Peacekeepers told us happened.
Well, the Peacekeepers don't know anything. We figured this out throughout the entire game.
I'll take another look around. For now, I'd like to ask you to leave the room.
Yeah, we'll need to look around again.
So you're gonna do that thing, yeah? I'm counting on you.
Definitely need to get a good look, for sure. So far, I don't know exactly, but if we turn back time, we'll get another look at things.
Let's wait outside.
Plus, now we have some extra details now. Okay. Well, let's see. Try and figure things out here. Quite a couple things we could do, for sure. But,
the trump card is still face down.
Yeah, that is true.
Time to use my post-cognition to see how things were at the time the body was first discovered.
And also see if there's any differences between here and now. Gotta love this post-cognition ability, though. Okay, got the corpse, the door open, that's when they found it, obviously. Fishy's on the floor. We can't see inanimate objects, right? No, wait. Oh no, we can. I'm trying to think of what we can't see. I forgot what it was exactly. There was something that she couldn't see specifically. But it's been so long since the Nailman chapter that I forgot. But we could see objects being moved. Just we can only see what the victim saw, basically. But first things first is let's look at the corpse.
The victim's body is kneeling against the edge of a fish tank, with his head inside.
I don't know, I don't think you can drown like that. His head's not deep enough.
Like the other tanks, this one is smashed up too.
Yeah, it is.
Looking closely, he is soaking wet.
Which is true.
It'd make sense if it was just his upper body. But for his whole body to be soaked is unusual.
That is really weird. Huh. The body was kneeling against the edge of the tank with his head inside it. Well, I did say this looks like water damage, so maybe the whole room was flooded up to that point. For what reason, though? No clue. Let's take a look at the broken fish tank again.
I see.
All tanks seem to have been smashed inward. There's not much difference from the room in its present state.
Yeah, for sure. Updated. All the tanks were smashed inward. Even when through post-cognition, they were still in this state. Okay, fish keeping equipment.
I see.
At the time the body was found, many things were scattered around. Could this sort of mess be caused by the broken fish tank?
Good question. Updated. Equipment used for keeping tropical fish was scattered around. Tropical fish equipment. Okay, what about the floor? Looks like it's still wet at this time.
Tropical fish everywhere. The whole floor is completely drenched.
Yep, and definitely there is some dry spots though too, seemingly. Post-cognition showed the floor was flooded and scattered with tropical fish. Okay. What do we have left? We got the vent again and the wall stains again.
It seems the stains on the wall were present when the body was found. I don't see any particular differences. No, the stains are darker than they are currently. Does that mean they were made around this time?
Maybe. Even when seen through post-cognition, all four walls had stains resembling horizontal lines. Okay, what about the vents?
The paint stuck on the frame can be seen here.
Is it a different color, too? Huh. Even when seen through post-cognition, rub marks and what looked to be blue paints were on the inside of the frame. Okay. What about the window? Lock looks different.
It's not locked. Anyone could come and go through here.
Really? Good to know. So the lock was changed during that day. That's good to know for sure.
Perhaps this is how the culprit entered the place.
Maybe. Possibly. A normal window with a crescent lock. Post-cognition showed it was unlocked. What
There's a dead tropical fish in the drain on the veranda.
Now that's very odd. The fish shouldn't be out there.
Why would that be there?
That is really odd. Okay then. The second floor veranda post-cognition showed a dead tropical fish was present. Okay. Things are starting to add up a little bit more. But the water is starting to go towards the window over here. You can kind of see it pulling this way. Okay then. What about the door, though?
Even in post-cognition, traces of sticky substances are on the frame. Was some kind of tape stuck on?
Definitely, seemingly. Even when seen through post-cognition, the sticky substance was on the door frame.
I'm beginning to see the truth behind this case. That's all the investigating I need to do for now.
Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, end investigation. Nothing left to find.
Are you done?
Yeah, we're more than done. Hey, doggy. What is that?
The dog has something in her mouth.
Was that a pipe?
Hey, Sugar!
Well, it's probably good that it's bringing it to us, because that looks important. That don't look like a normal chew toy.
What's this?
Yeah, what is that?
That's Sugar's favorite toy. It's just a rubber hose tied up in a knot.
Huh.
Ever since she was a puppy, Sugar has loved playing tug-of-war with a rubber hose.
Huh. Interesting.
So I still make toys out of hoses like this.
Guess that makes sense.
But I don't think I made one for her recently. Where did she get it from?
That's weird.
Wow, that's interesting. Let me take a look.
Okay. Well, let's definitely take a look then.
Wait, don't touch it.
What's wrong?
Why not?
Put that in a plastic bag without touching it directly. I believe it's evidence.
It possibly could be, honestly.
That's evidence?
It is blue. We saw some weird blue substance on that vent, so possible. Very possible, I think.
Consider it a precaution.
Yeah, probably best to not touch it. We might be able to pull some kind of DNA off it, maybe. Other than the dog's. Huh. Rubber hose toy. Sugar's favorite toy, a short rubber hose tied into a knot.
How's the investigation going?
Seemingly good.
Are the peacekeepers right? Did my father pass away due to an accident?
No, definitely not.
Or was it...
It's definitely murder, for sure, at this point.
The answer is clear. This was no accident, but a murder.
Yep, now let's just figure out who did it, is the real question.
Huh?
Or why.
Really?
Yep, nothing but.
What makes you think it's a murder?
Oh, I wonder what. The smashed in fish tanks and the little fish on the outside on the drain.
My thinking.
But he can't see that fish, though, to be fair. The window, the fish tanks. The window is odd. But honestly, the walls. What about it? The walls were wet.
No, it's not enough to disprove the theory that it was an accident. Reviewing it more carefully.
Okay. Then the fish tanks were shattered?
The victim died with his head in the fish tank. Is that right?
I don't know why I need to answer that, but okay. Obviously, where they were shattered, why did I need to put that together? I thought it was more important to look into why there's water stains on the wall above the fish tank, but okay. Okay. But yeah, his head was inside the fish tank.
Yes, that is certain.
So how'd he drown? That is a good question.
As you can see, this fish tank was destroyed like all the others.
Which is true.
That is far too strange. It means something logically impossible occurred.
Yeah, fair.
Impossible? What do you mean?
Well, how'd he drown himself?
I shouldn't have to explain it.
Because there's no water in the tank, if it's shattered.
If the victim drowned with his head in the tank, then it had to be filled with water.
Which it isn't.
But as you can see, the fish tank is destroyed, meaning it is unable to contain water.
Yep, impossible for it to contain water for, well, as long as it's broken like that.
Like with the other tanks, the water spilled out when it was smashed, emptying it.
Which is true.
So how could the victim drown in a fish tank that held no water?
Yeah, that would make nothing but sense.
Oh, now that you mention it.
The peacekeepers claim the victim was disoriented and smashed the fish tanks himself.
That is what they keep trying to do to cover it up.
But if the victim was still alive when he smashed the fish tanks, it would have been impossible for him to have drowned.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
In other words, the victim was drowned, then placed next to the fish tank to make it seem like an accident.
Yeah, seemingly.
The culprit must have believed this camouflage would be enough to fool the peacekeepers.
Possibly.
So my father was murdered.
Yeah, no matter what, there's no way around it.
Yes, there is no mistake about it. This is murder.
The only way, thing is who would do it?
Hold on.
But what do you think, Yakou?
If the culprit wanted to make the victim look like he drowned, why did they destroy the fish tank?
Good question.
Didn't they realize their cover would be blown? And plus, all the fish tanks were destroyed, not just that one.
True.
It must have been part of their plan for the peacekeepers to overlook this contradiction.
They always overlook something, and seemingly it's on purpose sometimes.
However, destroying the tanks required a lot of effort. If the culprit did so despite the contradiction it created,
Yeah, how did they also smash him if it would have made a loud noise?
then we have to assume there was an unavoidable reason behind it.
Really?
An unavoidable reason.
Possibly.
So, who is the culprit?
Oh, who do you think, Halara?
I must investigate further to find that out. I'll report back once I find the answer.
Makes sense.
Yes, please.
Okay, it looks like we're heading out then.
Has anyone outside your family entered or left the house recently?
Yeah, anybody?
I don't think so.
Were there any tradesmen who came to work on your place?
Yeah, anything like that?
I can't think of any.
Okay.
Allow me to change the question.
What kind of question then this time?
Have you recently done any remodeling or repairs to the home?
Yeah, probably not, with the fact that the water damage is still on the walls.
Oh, now that you mention it.
Now that you mention what?
The rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them.
Really?
He fixed the rain gutters?
That's interesting.
Yes, he's an avid DIYer.
Huh.
He not only fixed the broken parts, but also checked the gutters around the whole building, which was a lot of work.
Yeah, quite a lot of work indeed. Okay. New clue. The rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them. Rain gutter repair.
I see. That concludes my investigation.
Yeah, that with that new evidence, that's a little suspicious with the fact that we got the blue rubber hose and that weird paint mark on the wall there, on that vent. So that definitely makes him look like the most likely suspect right now, unless he's got any way to say that it's definitely not him. Because right now it doesn't matter if you had an alibi, because well, technically, the thing is he could have came into the house at any point because the lock being open. But interesting though.
What? Are you sure that's enough?
I think so, honestly. I think I have more than enough.
Jeez,
Myself.
you're always off in your own world. I'm sorry about that. Our ace detective isn't very friendly.
You can say that again.
That being said, I believe this case will be solved soon. Please be patient for just a bit longer.
Yeah, it should literally not be very much longer for you.
Thank you.
Where'd Jiren go, by the way? He just disappeared afterwards. But finished. Investigation definitely done. Now just go back there once we figure out things, I guess. Thing is, though, is,
Halara, just as you suspected, it could be the fiancé.
yeah, it's very likely him. But is it him? That's the question now, I guess.
Jaren has been living in the client's home and mooching off her since he got fired from his job a year back.
Really?
He's in quite a lot of debt, too. At one point, he was spending almost all his time in casinos.
Really?
He kept asking the client's father for money, but was always denied. Seems the father was also against their marriage.
I would see why. If, he's a giant leech. Yeah, I can understand.
So money is the motive.
Apparently so.
If the father were to die, the daughter would inherit everything. So if he married her, the money would be his.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Makes sense. The thing is, that man has an alibi.
I don't think it matters. The door lock makes it so it doesn't even matter anymore. Guy went to bed at 7, he showed up at 8. He has a whole hour to deal with the grandfather by going in through that other entrance. So, yeah, no way. No way around that. He's still very much suspicious. Impossible.
The victim's estimated time of death is 10 at night. There's no mistake that Jaren was with the client at that time.
Plus, a DIY person would know that you could stop water with tape on a door, if that's the reasoning for it. So, yeah, that is very suspicious.
It makes no sense to suspect Tetra, since she's our client, so we have to assume his alibi is airtight.
The only reason why I know about that is because of the Flex Seal tape stuff, the memes for Phil Swift. But, huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting, though.
Right. I agree.
His alibi is perfect.
Seemingly.
Not only was he with Tetra at 10, but he was also with her for 2 hours before and after. So, as it stands, it's impossible for him to have killed the victim.
No, it ain't.
No, the alibi isn't a problem. It's possible if a certain trick was used.
Yep. There is definitely a trick.
A trick?
More than a trick.
But I still lack hard evidence.
Yeah, we need something that completely pins them. For sure.
Perhaps it's worth rolling the dice here.
Rolling the dice, you say?
Hey, are you sure about this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's him, honestly. If Halara is sure about it, it's most likely, at this point.
We'll make our move tonight. Let's go to the client.
Okay, back to the client's house we go. Looks like we're ready to confront him. Or at least try, at least. Will it work? Who knows? But knowing Halara, it's more than likely going to get something out of him. Even if he isn't the culprit. Or if he is the culprit, it definitely will get him to talk. Okay, here we are.
Is it true that you know the truth behind this case?
Yeah, seemingly.
That's right, miss. Allow me to explain.
Okay, what you got, Halara?
The key detail for this case is the victim's cause of death.
Which is true.
Without a doubt, the victim died by drowning. But making it look like he drowned in the fish tank was camouflage.
Yeah, he didn't drown that way. If, the idea here is what I'm getting, since we know that the gutters were changed by him, and we got that pipe, well, you could kind of slide the pipe through, and because it's in a ball-like shape, it wouldn't go through the vent, but it would rub off of the vents if, it was moved any. So the blue paint would come off on the vents. But, the water went through the gutter, through the pipe, and started filling up the room, seemingly to that point where the water damage is. We don't know if it went any higher, but that's about where it went. There seems to be tape being used to close off the openings in the door to stop water from going through for the body to be found earlier. The tanks were smashed for just to camouflage the death, and then maybe the dad was already dead, and then they made it look like he did drown, or he was knocked out and he drowned from the water that was coming into the room. Maybe. I'm not 100%, but it's a good guess, I would say.
Why would such a thing even be needed? Because it secured the killer's alibi.
Which is true.
You said that the victim's time of death was around 10 p.m.
Yeah, that is definitely what's being said.
In other words, The culprit secured their alibi at the same time as they murdered the victim.
Yep, seemingly.
Is that really possible?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Through a certain trick, it was possible to drown the victim even if the culprit wasn't there.
Yep. No way around it. There definitely was a possibility.
Drown him without being there?
Yep.
The trick the culprit used was
The pipe ball thing. Which makes sense why Sugar knew that something happened. If Sugar did bring the pipe. Plus, the dog doesn't like the dude. That's another thing. So I think that's enough proof right there to go from there. But yeah, the hose. And how so? It was used to flood the room.
First, it involves this rubber hose.
Yep. Nothing but the rubber hose.
That's Sugar's toy.
Nope, not Sugar's. A replica.
If you untie the knot, it returns to being a hose. This was what was first used in the crime.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
How was it used? Don't tell me that's the murder weapon.
It actually kind of is.
If you check the vent, you'll see the color of paint scraped on there matches the hose.
Yeah, that's another good way to indicate it. It's also the same paint on the wall too, which is kind of funny.
It was likely passed through the vent.
Someone put the hose in the vent. Why would anyone do that?
Well, it was used as a murder weapon. That's kind of answers itself.
It's nothing special. The hose was simply used for its original purpose.
Yeah, transferring water.
Its original purpose?
One end of the hose was placed on the edge of the rain gutter on the veranda side.
Just true.
Prior to this, the culprit adjusted the rain gutter so that the hose could be inserted into it.
Huh.
The rainwater from the gutter passed through the hose, filling the room.
Which is true.
Huh? What do you mean? Halara, you think this place got flooded with rainwater?
How not? It's very much possible.
That would drench the whole place.
Yeah, the water damage on the walls doesn't fancy anybody. It's very obvious.
When the body was found, the room was, in fact, drenched.
Mm-hmm.
But that was because of the broken fish tanks, right?
No, it wouldn't. It would definitely not fill it up that much. There's no way it would.
That's part of it. But the main reason was due to rainwater pouring into the enclosed room.
Which is true.
Wait, what do you mean? What's the point in flooding this room with rainwater?
To drown him.
The culprit's goal was to secure their own alibi at the estimated time of death. This trick was necessary for that.
Which makes sense.
I don't get it. Can you explain from the beginning?
We can try.
Let's go over what the culprit did on the day of the crime, in order.
In order, you say?
First, the culprit mixed sleeping pills into the victim's dinner.
How'd you get that answer? We never found out about that.
While the victim was asleep, the culprit proceeded to prepare the trick.
Huh.
Sleeping pills in his food?
Apparently.
That reminds me. My father did seem sleepy shortly after eating dinner.
After dinner, the victim likely went to his room to lay down.
Which would make sense why he headed to his room. So the culprit would know that they're in the room.
The culprit then sneaked into his room and carried him out while he was asleep.
While the lady was busy doing dishes.
That was how the victim was transported to this room.
At this point, you're sure he was still alive?
Yeah, he was.
Of course. If the culprit murdered the victim earlier, then their alibi wouldn't have worked.
True.
The culprit had to murder him in such a way that would secure their alibi.
Yeah.
The preparations were done in this room.
Yep, this very room indeed.
After bringing the victim here, the culprit used duct tape on the gap near the door to weather strip it.
Yep, to make sure the water doesn't go through.
Weather strip? What's that?
Tape, tape, tape.
It prevents water from leaking outside.
What do you mean?
Well, it's not that hard to think of it, but okay, do you need us to explain everything to you, Yakou? Come on, man. It's not that hard to understand.
Let me explain. After weather stripping the door, the culprit started destroying the fish tanks.
But wouldn't you hear that, though?
The culprit likely covered them with cloth to dampen the noise.
I guess that would work, I guess.
Once he smashed all of them, he leaned the victim onto the fish tank.
Okay, makes sense.
The culprit then moved to the window on the veranda and weather stripped the outside of it.
Oh, really? Huh.
Finally, they took the hose connected to the rain gutter and passed it through the vent to the inside of the room.
Makes sense, I guess, yeah.
Preparations in place, the culprit left through the veranda and returned to the mansion as if nothing had happened.
But what about, taking off the tape afterwards, though?
How does that complete everything? The victim was still alive at the time, right? When was he murdered?
10 o'clock when the room filled up, I guess? Enough?
The victim naturally drowned after being left alone for several hours.
Yeah, that would make sense.
How's that?
You don't get that, Yakou? I can see why you're not a master detective, bud.
The rainwater from the rubber hose flooded the room in a few hours.
Yeah, that would make sense.
The whole room was turned into a fish tank, this time filled with rainwater.
Yep, that is very much true.
And that is how the victim drowned.
And there's not really much of a trick needed at that point.
The whole room was flooded?
Yeah. Crazy way to do it, but yeah, that's definitely how it was done.
That can't be.
Well, it's very much true. Look at the walls.
The proof lies in the stained walls. The day of the murder, the room must have been filled to that line with rainwater.
And then obviously it molded and messed up the walls all the way around.
Rainwater killed the victim?
Yep. It's very much possible. Rainwater can easily kill a victim in any sort of way. It can happen anywhere. Doesn't have to just happen in Kanai Ward.
Correct. Only in this city could such an approach be possible.
Yeah, here, yeah, for sure. When it comes to a pipe way of doing it, but you can be killed by rainwater in other ways, but maybe not purposefully by somebody else, though. More like an accident to yourself.
The rain never stops in Kanai Ward. This makes it easy to estimate the amount of rainfall to a certain degree.
Yeah, that would be right.
So it is not impossible to create this alibi trick with some calculation.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If the rain's always at a constant, it'd be easy to be able to figure it out over just a couple calculations, for sure, yeah. I guess that would make sense.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
A little bit, but it's definitely right.
Wouldn't it take at least half a day for the room to fill with enough rainwater to drown the victim?
Nah.
I'm sure it would require more rainwater than usual to accomplish it.
But the thing is we also learned that he changed the gutters. So more water would go towards the pipe. So if that's what he wanted, so we easily
Which
could tell.
means you'd need to gather all the rain falling around this giant mansion.
Yep.
Gather all of it how?
Through the gutters.
It would require slight adjustments to the rain gutters. After that, the rainwater would flow to the veranda.
Completing the trick.
Adjustments to the rain gutters?
Yep. And only one person did that.
There would be plenty of water if all of the rain that pours upon the mansion is rerouted to this room.
Which is right next to the room, too. Yeah, buddy, you're caught.
That explains how the culprit secured their alibi while drowning the victim.
Which is true.
In the morning, before the body was found, they removed the weather stripping and drained the water through the veranda.
Which is the whole point of the veranda, is to get rid of rainwater. So, it just drained right on out.
If you check the drain in the veranda, you should find dead tropical fish that were carried out with the rainwater.
True.
The culprit smashed the tanks beforehand to prevent rainwater from being stored inside.
Huh.
Well, that's how I would have done it. But maybe the culprit didn't realize that before they started draining the water.
True.
Seeing the fish tanks filled with rainwater, the culprit panicked and smashed all of the glass to hide the evidence.
Huh. I guess that would be because he didn't realize that he started freaking out. I guess yeah, that would be a good way to call him out on everything.
They must have carelessly broken the one fish tank the corpse was leaning on in the process.
Yeah, true, actually.
Isn't that how it went, Jaren?
Yeah, Jaren, you want to answer the truth, bud?
I'll be direct. You are the culprit.
Yep, nothing but the culprit. You want to give up, or...
Hold on. Is this some kind of joke?
Nope.
Why would I kill my father-in-law? That's stupid.
You have enough reasons, bud.
But you were fixing the rain gutters a few days before the incident.
Oh, only a few days. Wow. Very, very not suspicious there, Jiren.
That's because you asked me to fix them.
Mm-hmm.
How does fixing some stuff pin me as the culprit?
Well, it's very suspicious that it's right next to his room.
That's crazy talk!
I don't know, man. Very, very coincidental.
So you intend on maintaining that you're not the culprit?
Apparently.
Of course!
Then we'll have to ask our little friend for the answer.
Our little friend, you say?
Come here, sugar.
Doggy. What do you think, dog?
This is the rubber hose used for the trick. There are scrapes on its surface. That's the proof.
Yep. You want to give up yet, or you want the dog to find you out, bud?
I'm sure the culprit tried to dispose of it, tying it into a knot before throwing it away. But our friend here found it for us. Good girl, Sugar.
Yeah, good girl, Sugar. You did good. She is sweet like Sugar. Just Jiren was someone that Sugar didn't trust whatsoever for very good reasons.
Only the culprit has directly touched the rubber hose. I'm certain his scent is still on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us, Sugar. Who do you smell on this?
Yeah, do you know how to figure that out? Okay, buddy. You ready to go to wherever you want to go? Because you're going to jail, bud.
So, it is you.
Yep. Nice try, though. Nice try indeed. You gotta admit, bud.
This is complete nonsense. I won't accept it.
But your wife will.
If I have to...
If you have to, what?
I'll kill all of you.
Uh-huh, yeah, sure. That doesn't make you look even any less suspicious.
Hey, don't tell me that you're really...
You wouldn't be able to even take down Yakou, buddy. That dog would maul you. I'm gonna be honest.
I was so close to getting all that money.
Also, my camera is starting to go. I don't know why my camera's being really weird recently. There it goes. I don't know what's going on with it recently. Huh.
Calm down! Hey! Why me?
Yeah, why Yakou? We didn't do anything.
I can kill the woman anytime. I'll start off with you.
Please don't.
Damn you, detectives! This is your fault for sticking your nose into my life!
Well, we'll continue doing it until you're out of here, buddy.
Can you handle this on your own, Chief?
I'm pretty bad at this sort of thing. Please help. Shut up! I'll kill you!
Oh, you let go of the knife. Bye-bye, bud. Hope you like foot to the face. Oh, he's out. Good job, though.
You saved me.
I never thought it would be like this. What am I supposed to do?
I'm sorry about that, lady.
You're not alone.
Yeah, you got your doggy.
That's what she's saying.
If you ever need help, come to us. The Nocturnal Detective Agency will always be at your service.
Which is true.
Thank you.
No problem. What a crazy case, though. For, like, I know it's a short case, but for the idea of, like, how the crime was created and stuff is kind of crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Would never have thought of a lot of that on my own. But because of the post-cognition, we were able to. Oh, there's Halara's kitty cat.
As promised, you can keep that cat here.
Okay, well we never saw it, so I'm surprised that we didn't see it.
I don't need your help. That's what the cat is saying.
Really?
Come on, this cat thinks it's some sort of hard-boiled detective? Well, I suppose I don't mind.
Huh.
This city is a difficult place to live. Even for the animals.
Why not keep it in the submarine? It's perfectly enough room for it to run around and sleep. Cats usually don't need a lot of space in a home environment.
Right. I hope we can keep solving the mysteries here to make this city a better place.
Plus, the submarine's not that small, to be fair.
And make it a nicer place for them to live too.
That would be a good idea.
I sincerely hope so.
It'll be possible, eventually.
You're so cold to humans, but you like animals.
Yeah, pretty much. Not a lot on the fish, though, is something I was noticing. Just the dog and the cat. She seemed like she was worried about the fish, but the fish were already dead, so she couldn't do much about it.
Are you teasing me?
No, not really.
See, there you go again, making that scary face. Seeing you play with the cat, you look kind of cute. It sure would be nice to see more of that smile around here.
Halara is definitely not going to smile that often. But it seemed like it did something for Halara.
I hope you keep using your powers to change this city. I know you can do it.
Yeah, you definitely could.
For their sake, too.
Sadly, we only got to really use it once during Chapter 1. Well, not once, but during Chapter 1 is the only time we got to really see it, sadly.
That depends on the payment.
Payment, you say?
Come on. Well, how's this? Consider it the reward for this case.
Oh, is that why the milk was missing? She was feeding the cats?
And maybe you could ask for permission next time.
Thanks.
No problem, Laura. Well. Yeah, this is definitely the end of it. It's gotta be. What a crazy DLC of events for everything, honestly. I really, really like the DLC stories. But yep, Raining Cats and Dogs is now officially at its end. What a good game so far. But it's not over. And sorry about the camera again. But we are on what it will be the final countdown now. There's only one DLC chapter left, unless they secretly release a fifth one, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So, with that being said, more than likely, at the time of recording this, I don't know which character is going to get it, but it's literally going to come out any day now for me, personally, when I'm recording this. So, I'm going to say it's Vivia. There's no way around it, I think. Because all the other detectives had one, except for Yakou, but Yakou wasn't a detective we hanged around much as Yuma outside of him being the chief. So we never did an investigation with him, even though he had a chapter with the prologue. And they're the only one still alive. So, yeah, makes sense. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.